Good evening. It's only been a couple days since you guys saw my yard, the flooded mess that it was. Right now it's not flooded. It's a solid sheet of ice. 2 days. Anyway, heading to a vape store up in Bowling Green, Kentucky after I get some gas in this truck because nobody seems to want to put any in it. But I found another one up in Bowling Green that's about as far as just about any of them anywhere else around here. And I might be looking for another surprise up in Bowling Green. We'll see what I get into. But I'm going to see if I can get them to cut me a deal on some juice because the stuff that I've got at the house now is just not, there's not that much of it. And I can't divide what I've got up. Besides that, I don't think everybody's going to like what I've got there. I want to get something that people like trying vaping on a little bit and send that out with some of these e-cigarettes. So far, I've been told, let's see, Michael apologized by giving your last name. He's getting one. A friend of mine, Billy from high school, is getting one. A friend of mine, Don, from high school down in Georgia, is getting one. My cousin Michelle up in Ohio is getting one. And then the YouTubers, Tommy Creech, TC7129, I think it is, down in Louisiana. Him and his girlfriend are getting one. And Pisser's channel, or Hack and Pack channel, I think it is now, is getting one. I'm stepping out on a limb a little bit because I'm going and buying e-juice. I don't even have all the e-cigarettes yet, but I'm stepping out on a limb and buying some e-juice out of my pocket in hopes that some of my YouTube money comes in, which I haven't even looked to see how much is there or if and how much I've earned. So basically this is biting into the next payment. But this is what I'm using my e-cigarette, or my e-cigarette, jeez. This is what I'm using my YouTube money for, is e-cigarettes. To get people that I care about and the ones that I'd like to see stick around a while longer. They're the ones that are going to get them. There's 7 people right now, 8 people, that I've told I'll send an e-cigarette to. I have 4. Now, the way I'm going to do this is in the order that I was asked about them. That's how they're going to get sent out. Also, in the order that I asked the people and they accepted, which that's kind of not fair because I asked them in a screwed up manner, but in the order that they accepted, I believe that's how I'm gonna send them out to the rest of them. Ignorant son of a gun saw me sitting there waiting on that gas pump, and he's gonna sneak his little butt right in there. Anyway, just to give you an idea how cold it actually is out here, this mirror says 24, which is usually 2 degrees hotter than it actually is. And there's a really strong wind. So I'd say it's probably 24 with a wind chill factor of like 17, 18. I just knew that guy was going to pull out. Anyway, it's freaking cold. So, but just for a little FYI, this camera that I'm using right now is not my Sony, so if it goes to hunting, that'll just prove to people that it ain't just the Sonys that do the hunting, the focus hunting. All of them do it. Sony's maybe a little bit worse about it than others, but when they're clear and they hold the clear focus, they hold it pretty doggone well. Anyway, this is only a 4 gig card, so I'm not going to use it all up doing the drive up to get what I'm getting. Got a feeling that this e-cigarette place I'm looking for is inside the mall here. Call it a hunch, but getting ready to grab up all my cameras and run in there. And yes, I did say cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Canon PowerShot F330HS. (10x) zoom, 12 megapixel or 12.1 megapixel Digic 5 processor. It's the next iteration of the Canon 300HS that I have in my hand. Does do full 1080p, does have the HS system, and is Wi-Fi certified. I'm gonna do this quick because my light's blinking at me telling me I'm almost out of battery. I got the Canon Image Now software, handbook, registration, digital solution disc. Take that out. Comes with a USB, mini USB. Got the camera itself. And actually, this is about twice as thick as the 300HS that I'm holding in my hand now on the one side. The other side it's kind of thin. I can see that being a problem. See, a little wedge shape. Then you got, of course, your wall charger, which I need to but won't be able to use right now. Your NB4L battery, which probably isn't going to have enough time on it, but to get a quick shot in to test it with going down the road, and a wrist strap. Now that was kind of a rush deal, but I've got a couple of these NB4Ls with my Canon 300HS, so I should be able to. Oh, wait a minute. Now then, not sure where I was, but I did have a couple of the NB4Ls. The other one was in the case that I usually carry it around on my hip with. This is the new NB4L that goes with the 330HS. I will put the strap on it because that has saved my camera a number of times. Put the USB cable back in here. Never used that unless I'm just, well, I did once at work. But let's see what kind of images this thing produces. Now I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with it because like I said before, this is only a 4 gig card. But anyway, there it is, the Canon 330 HS, well, Canon PowerShot ELPH 330 HS. Still not a fan of the little iris there that opens and closes. This is the same camera that CTFXC uses, incidentally. That is not why I bought it, and I put off buying this for a very long time to see if they were going to come out with a newer one. Supposedly, they are not coming out with a newer one until late spring, early summer. I don't care to wait that long. If you're familiar with the 300HS, you'll see that the controls are quite a bit different. They kind of dumbed it down. Evidently people are having an issue with figuring out how to make those controls work. Well, no, actually they're all the same. And they're all back in the same location. The 310HS was a complete catastrophe. It was all touchscreen, and all the buttons were, well, the buttons that were on here were over here on the side, and it was just ridiculous. I mean, it's either the 310 or 320, I can't remember which, but it was the next one after the 300, and they really ate it on that one because that was just retarded how they put that camera together. And this one's not assembled any different. I mean, it's good and solid for what it is, but I got a feeling this one's going to take a couple tumbles over the time I own it. Now, I did, for the first time ever, buy a 2-year service contract for this through Best Buy. So anything that happens to it in that 2 years, I'll go back and get the next model, or get another one of these if they happen to have it still. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. 330 HS, and I'm going to give it a little run through while I've still got memory card left to play with, and let's see what it can do. Of course, it's dark out here, so it's not going to be anything super spectacular or eye-catching, but we'll give it a shot and see what it can do anyway. I'm going to walk through the Greenwood Mall here in Bowling Green. Don't usually do malls, but not able to find the e-cigarette place I was looking for either. So I'm assuming it's in here somewhere. Besides that, I need to get out and walk more. Nope, not down this way. Alright. Had a little bit of a haul tonight. Went down and found a vape store in Bowling Green Mall. Got this iClear 30B for $10. These were $13. I got butterscotch, pomegranate, and vanilla custard. Haven't been able to find anybody around here that had these. So I'm going to give them a shot and see what they vape like. See if they're any good or not. That's tonight's haul. Of course, I don't think this is anything real special. Huh? I'm assuming that rotable means replaceable. But yeah, this is a genuine one. And I actually got it for 10 bucks. It's not one of the clones or one made to look like it. And here we have it. Just a regular 3mm tank. Bottom fed coil. Got a little trouble. I had to get the condom off of the drip tip. It's the standard iTaste screw-in drip tip. The head is not standard at all. Staggered wicks, 2.1 ohm. That's a beefy coil head. And of course that goes right in there. And you tighten it down. Then you put your tank on. And then this is the top. You know, as far as I know, the little chimney don't screw out of it there. But it sits right down on the top of the coil. And you put your threaded tip back in the top there. Tighten her down. Now, I'm going to step out on a limb and say this one's probably going to be best filled from the bottom. Just a hunch. Because there's so much tube here, if you take the top one out, you're going to flood the coil. So I'd venture to say this one you fill from the bottom, like so, to where you can at least fill it most of the way up. Because that center tube. But we'll give it a shot and see how she vapes.